Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine a night so powerful that millions of people across centuries chose to stay awake for it. Not to celebrate, not to party, not to distract themselves, but to awaken. This night is called Mahashivaratri, the great night of Shiva. But what if I told you this night is not just spiritual? What if it is biological, psychological, neurological? What if this ancient vigil is actually a carefully encoded body-mind reset ritual designed thousands of years ago? Tonight, we explore something deeper than religion. We explore consciousness, the meaning of the night. Mahashivaratri occurs during the dark phase of the moon on the 14th lunar night. Symbolically, this is when the moon, representing the mind, becomes almost invisible. And what happens when the mind becomes quiet? Stillness appears. Ancient yogic traditions describe this night as a doorway, a thinning of the veil between chaos and clarity. But here's the fascinating part. Modern neuroscience shows that darkness, circadian rhythm shifts, and fasting can profoundly alter brain states. So perhaps this holy night was not superstition. Perhaps it was observation. Why stay awake? Let's begin with the question most people ask. Why would anyone intentionally stay awake all night? Isn't sleep essential? Yes, sleep restores the body. But occasionally interrupting sleep, intentionally and consciously, can create a different neurological effect. During a normal day, your brain operates mostly in beta waves, fast, alert, problem-solving frequencies. At night, as you begin to relax, the brain shifts to alpha waves. Deeper relaxation moves you into theta. Theta is the state of creativity, intuition, emotional integration. And when someone remains awake while maintaining meditative awareness, something rare happens. The brain enters a calm theta-like state without unconsciousness. This is often described as wakeful stillness. Ancient sages called it awareness beyond sleep. Modern science calls it altered neural coherence. Different language, same phenomenon. Mahashivaratri encourages wakefulness, but not stimulation, not scrolling, not noise. It encourages alert stillness, and that changes everything. The 4 watches of the night. Traditionally, the night is divided into 4 yamas, 4 energetic segments. Why? Because attention fluctuates, energy rises and falls. The first quarter of the night, the body resists. The second, the mind wanders. The third, fatigue peaks. The fourth, something shifts. If you've ever stayed awake through the night intentionally, you know this feeling. Around early dawn, clarity appears. The ego weakens. Thought slows. Identity loosens. There is vulnerability, softness, and strangely, peace. Ancient practitioners worshipped in each yama, not because a deity required it, but because repetition anchors awareness. Each segment becomes a checkpoint, a recommitment, a sharpening of focus. In psychological terms, this builds willpower and cognitive endurance. In spiritual language, it burns karma. In neuroscience, it strengthens prefrontal regulation over impulses. Different lenses, same transformation. The power of fasting. Now let's talk about fasting. Mahashivaratri encourages reducing or eliminating food intake. Water only, milk or fruits. Why? Ancient explanation, purification. Modern explanation, autophagy. When you stop eating for 12 to 16 hours, your body begins recycling damaged cells. It shifts from digestion mode to repair mode. Inflammation decreases. Metabolism resets. Energy stabilizes. But there's more. When digestion slows, blood flow shifts. Mental clarity increases. Have you ever noticed how heavy meals make you sleepy and light fasting sharpens awareness? This is not mystical, it's physiological. By reducing input, you increase perception. The instrument encoded this principle thousands of years ago. Eat less, feel more. The spine and energy. Another instruction of the night, sit upright, keep the spine straight. Why was posture emphasized? Ancient yogis described energy, prana, moving along the spine. Modern anatomy describes the spinal cord as the central communication highway between brain and body. When you sit upright, lung capacity expands, oxygen intake improves, alertness increases. Slouching compresses breathing. Upright posture activates focus. Even psychology studies show that posture influences emotional state. Straight spine, steady breath, balanced nervous system. What the Siddhas called energy rising, science calls optimized neural signaling. Different metaphors, same mechanics. The mantra and the vagus nerve. Throughout the night, one mantra echoes, Om Namah Shivaya. 5 syllables, simple, rhythmic, repetitive. Chanting is not random devotion, it is vibrational regulation. When you chant slowly, especially with humming resonance, vibrations stimulate the vagus nerve. Your vagus nerve controls your parasympathetic nervous system, your calm state. Lower heart rate, reduced stress hormones, improved emotional balance. So chanting is not just praise, it is nervous system training. Repetition creates rhythm. Rhythm creates stability. Stability creates clarity. Ancient saints said mantra dissolves ego. Modern medicine says it reduces cortisol. Both are describing a calmer internal state. Lingodbhava, the peak window. Within the night, there is said to be a powerful 20 to 30-minute window, Lingodbhava kalam. Symbolically, this marks Shiva appearing as an infinite pillar of light. But let's look deeper. Every night there is a circadian low point when melatonin peaks and the mind is most receptive. If someone remains conscious during that window, introspection deepens, emotional processing increases. In spiritual language, revelation. In neuroscience, heightened suggestibility and neuroplasticity. If you cannot stay awake all night, tradition says, stay awake for this one window. Focus intensely. Why? Because concentrated awareness during biological vulnerability creates imprint. It is like writing on soft clay. The subconscious listens more deeply at night. This is why affirmations before sleep work, and why conscious wakefulness at night feels powerful. The ancients understood timing. Seasonal reset. Mahashivaratri occurs as winter transitions towards summer. Seasonal transitions strain the immune system. Traditional systems recommend detoxification during seasonal shifts, light fasting, cleansing, reduced stimulation. Modern immunology agrees that metabolic shifts influence immunity. Short fasting periods can enhance cellular repair. Reducing processed foods improves gut balance. The ritual aligns with environmental rhythm, not randomly, intelligently. Is this religious or biological? Here's the important question. Is Mahashivaratri about worship Or is it about human optimization? The honest answer, it can be both. Ritual provides structure. Structure provides discipline. Discipline creates transformation. You can approach this night devotionally, or psychologically, or biologically. The effects remain. Fasting trains metabolism. Wakefulness trains attention. Chanting regulates emotion. Posture improves breathing. Meditation sharpens awareness. This is a full spectrum reset. Body, mind, emotion, energy. The ego and exhaustion. Now let's address something deeper. When you stay awake intentionally, the ego weakens. Why? Because the ego depends on comfort, on routine.
On predictability. Interrupting routine exposes fragility. Around 3 or 4 a.m., when you're tired and quiet, something interesting happens. Your defenses soften. You are more honest with yourself. Thought slows. Identity loosens. This is why many spiritual traditions include night vigils. Fatigue dissolves arrogance. Silence dissolves noise. And in that space, humility appears. Shiva represents dissolution, not destruction, dissolution, the melting of false identity. Remaining awake is symbolic of staying conscious while the ego dissolves. That is powerful. Who should practice? Traditionally, everyone is invited. Men, women, elders, even children in adapted ways. But modern wisdom says, know your body. If you have medical conditions, consult a professional. If you cannot fast fully, modify. If you cannot stay awake fully, meditate for a portion. The spirit of the practice matters more than extremism. Intensity without awareness becomes harm. Awareness with moderation becomes transformation. The unified insight. Let's summarize what this night encodes. Fasting, cellular repair, and mental clarity. Wakefulness, neurological rewiring. Mantra, nervous system regulation. Posture, optimized breathing. Meditation, brainwave modulation. Seasonal timing, immune alignment. This is not random ritual. It is a carefully observed human experiment refined over centuries. And perhaps the greatest insight, you do not need to believe in mythology to benefit. You only need sincerity, attention, willingness. The inner meaning of Shiva. Beyond all biology and science lies something symbolic. Shiva is often depicted in meditation, eyes half closed, still, detached, yet compassionate. He represents consciousness itself, unshaken, unattached, infinite. When we observe Mahashivaratri, we are not pleasing a deity in the sky. We are awakening the stillness within, the part of us untouched by stress, unaffected by identity, silent beneath thought. Modern psychology calls it meta-awareness. Spirituality calls it Atman. Different language, same experience. The real question. So now ask yourself, when was the last time you stayed awake, not because of anxiety, but because of awareness? When was the last time you fasted, not for weight loss, but for clarity? When was the last time you sat in silence without distraction? Mahashivaratri invites you to experiment. One night, intentional, disciplined, sacred. How to observe practically. If you choose to observe, eat light during the day. Hydrate. As night begins, set an intention. Sit upright. Dim the lights. Reduce stimulation. Chant slowly. Breathe deeply. Every hour, reset posture. Around the peak window, close your eyes and observe your thoughts. Do not fight them. Do not chase them. Just witness. If fatigue comes, watch it. If restlessness comes, observe it. You are training awareness, not forcing endurance. As dawn approaches, notice the shift. There is often subtle euphoria, quiet joy, completion. You made it. Not just through the night, but through your own resistance. That builds confidence beyond ritual. The deeper transformation. Ultimately, Mahashivaratri is about mastery over inertia. Inertia of body, inertia of mind, inertia of habit. Sleep represents unconscious living. Wakefulness represents conscious choice. Fasting represents restraint. Chanting represents alignment. Stillness represents truth. And when these combine, something within you reorganizes. You feel lighter, clearer, less reactive, more centered. That is the real blessing. Final reflection. Mahashivaratri is not superstition. It is encoded bio-wisdom. It is psychological training disguised as ritual. It is nervous system regulation hidden in devotion. It is metabolic reset wrapped in symbolism. And whether you approach it as science or spirituality or both, the invitation is the same. Stay awake. Observe. Dissolve. Renew. Tonight is not about losing sleep. It is about losing limitation. Not about exhaustion, but expansion. So as the night deepens and silence spreads, sit upright. Breathe slowly. Whisper gently. Om Namah Shivaya. And listen. Not outside, but within. Because the real temple is your own awareness. And this night is your doorway back to it.